Hello everybody and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. My name is Craig and just got done watching Al Red Sox fan and his Boston Red Sox take on the New York Yankees. Happy to be a part of his stream that just happened, and now I'm happy to bring you a game here between the Boston Soul Rocks and the Cleveland Spindas. We are here in Cleveland for tonight's game in an AL matchup in game day 14. This is the second game on the docket, 2 of 7 in game day 14 in the Alola League of my RNGIDP's randomized Nuz League setup here, a 2015 set of Strat-O-Matic cards that I randomized for all 30 teams, and we are playing 28 games in 30 game days, and so we're having a lot of fun here. This is game day 14, almost halfway through with this thing. Some of the teams are starting to distance themselves, and tonight we'll see one of them, and it will be Boston against Cleveland. Boston is number 1 in the Alola League, the AL. They are 9-3. Boston has been crushing people. They've scored 85 runs on the season, which is way, way ahead of everybody else. They have given up 53, which is pretty high. Their run differential is 32, which is high for the best in the AL, with Texas, who's right behind him in the number 2 spot. Texas has only scored 65 runs, but they've only given up 33. So Boston, you can score on them, but their machine is the offense. You got to slow down this lineup if you want to slow down Boston, and nobody really has been able to do it quite yet. I say that in their last game, Boston only scored 2 runs, and that was against Houston. It was a close one, 2-1 win for Boston, and they get back to their winning ways after taking a tough loss in game day 12. But here they are. They've won 1, and they are looking to start another extended streak here, and against Cleveland. Cleveland are 5-7 and sit in 12th place, 4 games back of Boston. Cleveland won their last game against Baltimore in Baltimore. A good game in that one, if you remember. And they've won. They've only won 1 in a row now, but that's when you've only won 5 games, that's a tick in the upright direction. So Cleveland has scored 38 runs, and they've given up 77. Pitching has been the problem. Hitting has been the problem. And if you look at their lineup, you wouldn't think hitting would be the problem. We'll get to that in a little while when we see their lineup. But their lineup is pretty good, and it just hasn't come together for them. And so today we'll look at their pitching quickly. They will be pitching Nate Carnes. Nate Carnes goes to the mound for Cleveland, and he is... Wait, hold on. Nate Carnes, 1 second here, Cleveland. Nate Carnes' stats look like that. He's pitched in 11 innings. He's 0-1 on the season, giving up 9 hits, only 3 earned runs, which isn't too bad. 11 strikeouts and 5 walks. That equates to a 2.45 ERA. So he's been pretty good in his limited innings, 11 innings. And this is the vaunted Boston lineup that will face him. Nobody on Boston is injured. They've got their full power lineup, and this is who we'll see today. Leading off is the usual Dexter Fowler, the switch-hitting center fielder. He's hitting .367, setting the table well with 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. He has 6 RBIs from that leadoff spot, 12 strikeouts, 7 walks. So even when he's not getting hits, he's drawing walks, and he's got a couple of stolen bases. Jose Altuve in the number 2 spot in second base. He is a right-handed hitter, and he is hitting .366, just a tick under Dexter Fowler. 5 doubles for him, 4 homers for him, and leads the team with 14 RBI from the 2 spot. Hitting behind him in third is the DH, Joe Panik. Yes, Joe Panik is the DH for Boston. It's working out so far. If you look at Joe Panik, he's hitting .419 and keeps moving up the lineup, and he's up to third today. Joe Panik has hit 6 doubles, 3 triples, a homer, 8 RBIs, only struck out 6 times. Behind him will be the lefty Chris Davis at first base. He's hitting nearly 200. He does have 3 homers and 7 RBIs, but he struck out 19 times, which leads the team and is amongst the league leaders. Luis Valbuena gets back at his normal third base spot. David Wright has been starting there, but giving David Wright the day off, and Valbuena is back in there. He's hitting .205 with no homers yet, so looking to get his bat straight against the righty is the lefty Luis Valbuena. Paulo Orlando is the right fielder today. He's hitting .333, so getting a hit a third of the time. He's 4 doubles, 2 triples, no homers yet for him. He does have 8 RBI. Colby Rasmus back in there in left field. Aaron Alter got a start last game, and now Colby Rasmus is back in the lineup today. He's hitting below 200, 196, so looking to get his bat warmed up. The top of the lineup is what's carrying this Boston team. Colby Rasmus has no home runs, but 8 RBI so far. Stephen Vogt is the catcher, and he shares time with Cameron Rupp and Brian Pena. And Stephen Vogt is 7 for 17, so he gets another start today. He's got a homer and 6 driven in. Jordy Mercer rounding out the lineup in the 9th spot. He's the shortstop. He's been injured for quite a while this season, but Jordy Mercer is 6 for 21, no extra base hits. Looking to get him going as well. So that'll be the offense for Boston. Will this pitcher, Nate Carnes for Cleveland, be able to keep them off the scoreboard? They only scored 2 runs in their last game. Looking to build off that. Maybe they found something. So Nate Carnes will pitch to Dexter Fowler. Just about to get started here on the RNGIDP channel. My name is Craig. Hope you're enjoying the series I have going, this project that I have going. It will be a total of 420 games total in the regular season. And if I did the math, I could be able to calculate how many we've played. But we're creeping closer to being halfway there, and I'm pretty excited about that. So here we go. This will be Boston against Cleveland. From Cleveland, leading off is Dexter Fowler, the center fielder, and he gets the pitch from Nate Carnes, and it misses, and Dexter Fowler trots down to first with a base on balls. So you don't want to put Fowler on. He's a stealer. And Fowler, while we're here, let's look at the catcher's arm of the catcher for Cleveland, Ryan Hannigan. He is a -1 arm. So Fowler, being an A stealer, is a 1 to 15 chance. They are going to have to hold him. He's only a -1, so that'll make it a 1 to 14. With being held, that's a 1 to 12 chance that Fowler can score. Jose Altuve is up. And with Jose Altuve coming up to bat, we say hello to Al Red Sox fan who's joining us after his game. Boston against New York. That was a good game. Some late inning action. And Al, I'm sure, is happy. And he joins us here live on the live stream. Thank you for joining here. If you're watching this after the fact, I thank you for watching it too. That's really cool. I appreciate you coming here to the channel, and tell me how you found it. I'd like to know that. All right, so Jose Altuve is up. He's a B hitting runner. Dexter Fowler is on, creeping off of first, looking like he wants to go. He's not going to. And Jose Altuve gets the swing away sign. And this will be a grounder to second base. Oh no, maybe we should have put a play on. The second baseman is Solarte. And Solarte is a pretty good fielder. But at second base, he's a 4. We're playing him at second. So second base 4, 19 is a ground ball B. So Solarte is able to grab it. Has a little trouble with the handle. Fowler is able to make it to. Actually, you know what? The only play that he's going to have, because a ground ball B is a fielder's choice. So he has a little trouble with it, tosses it to second for his only play, and the shortstop has to eat it. So the first out will be made at second. Altuve is on board with the fielder's choice. So Altuve trades places with Dexter Fowler on the base paths. Probably a good thing, because Altuve is a better stealer. He's a double-A stealer. So a double-A would be a 1-17. They are going to hold him. It's a 1-15. Hannigan's a -1. So Joe Panik is the batter, the lefty, with Jose Altuve on first. Altuve is going to try and take a few extra steps against Carnes. Maybe he's looking to make a play happen here after almost bouncing into a double play. So it will be 1-17, -1, 1-16, -2, 1-14. So Altuve takes off, and Ryan Hannigan with the perfect throw, and Altuve confounds his batting mistake with a running mistake, and that's the second out. That's a caught stealing. So Hannigan catches Altuve stealing, and now 2 men have reached, and they're both out for Joe Panik with the bases empty. The lefty against the righty Nate Carnes, and Joe Panik strikes out. So 3 quick outs, but Cleveland gets him the tough way. Walk, a fielder's choice, a caught stealing, and a strikeout. And Boston stays off the scoreboard for at least half inning. Phil Hughes will be the pitcher for Boston tonight. Phil Hughes has struggled somewhat on the year. 10 2/3 innings. He's got an 0-1 record, 12 hits given up, and 8 earned runs with those 12 hits. He's got 9 strikeouts and only 2 walks, but that ERA leaves a little bit to be desired. That is a 6.79 ERA. Typical bad base running by the Red Sox. Well, yeah, that was a little tough one. Boston ran themselves out of the inning there. And here is the lineup for Cleveland that will face Phil Hughes, the righty. Cleveland, as I said when we started the game, their lineup looks pretty good, but they just haven't started hitting so far. Here they will be today. Alcides Escobar, the righty shortstop. He is hitting. Let me look his stats up 1 second. He's doing his part. He's hitting .315 from that leadoff spot. Three doubles, a triple, 3 driven in, a couple stolen bases as well. Yangervis Solarte is the second baseman, as we saw. He's a switch hitter. He's 2 for 27 on the season, so maybe he's part of the problem, looking to get his bat going. George Springer will be the DH today. George Springer is hitting .340, 3 homers and 11 RBI. 11 leads the team. He does have 19 strikeouts, though, which is a little rough. It's either a hit or a strikeout for him. Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper is batting cleanup, the lefty in right field. He is hitting 5 for 28 so far in the season with only a couple home runs and only 4 RBIs. He's been hurt, but you would expect a little more from him. Hitting in the 5th spot is the lefty first baseman, Logan Morrison. Lomo is only 4 for 27 on the season as well, with a double. He does have a home run, and that was a pinch hit home run, I believe, in the last game to tie the ball game. Shane Robinson, the left fielder today, his average is pretty good, and he keeps moving up the lineup. He's up to 6 today. He's hitting .368, 3 doubles, 2 triples. He doesn't have any driven in, but he's been hitting in the 9 spot most of the season, so that's likely to change. Adonis Garcia is the third baseman today. Adonis Garcia is filling in for the injured Brett Lowry, and while he's at third base, he's hitting .209. He does have a couple of home runs, and he has 8 RBI in limited duty. Ryan Hannigan gets the start today for the struggling Giovanni Soto at the plate. Soto is only hitting .150, so they're getting him the day off. And Hannigan hits his first start of the season, and he's only had 1 at bat. So a surprise appearance for him, and already off to a good start, throwing out the speedy Altuve on the base paths. Logan Schaefer is the center fielder today. Logan Schaefer is hitting .238. No wonder he's in the 9th spot. He does have 3 doubles, but nothing else going there. A couple RBIs for him. And that's how Cleveland will line up today to face the pitcher of Phil Hughes. Higher Ground Gaming says, "Hola, welcome into the live stream. Hope you're doing good tonight. Looking forward to a game here. We're just underway. Boston Soul Rocks against the Cleveland Spindas. Boston had 2 men on. The top half couldn't do anything with it. Phil Hughes will try to keep Cleveland off the board here, and here he faces Alcides Escobar. And this is a ballpark single chance, a 1-9, and he'll squeak one through, and not this time. That's a line out to the shortstop. Jordy Mercer is able to make a nice jumping grab, and Escobar is the first out of the bottom half of the first. Yangervis Solarte is the man at bat, the switch hitter, 5-5. The 5-5, ooh, that's a sweet spot, and Phil Hughes hangs one. Solarte is a normal home run, a 1-16. It's a homer and just stays in the yard. The yard is not kind to him, and the hometown Cleveland walls are too high, and Solarte plinks it off of it. And he rounds first with an easy double, a stand-up double for Yangervis Solarte. So we just mentioned how his bat was struggling and needs to wake up, and here he is in the first inning with a double. And with 1 out, the meat of the order will face Phil Hughes trying to get the run in, and George Springer will be the man at bat. This one's hit back to the pitcher. Phil Hughes is a number 1 pitcher. This is an 11, so that's going to go to his E rating. He's an E0. So Phil Hughes makes a nice stab at the ball, snags it, tosses it over to first, looks Solarte back before he does it, and that will be the second out. Springer thought he had a hit. Phil Hughes was able to pluck it and toss it to first, and it will be up to the lefty Bryce Harper to drive home the run from second. Bryce Harper, the lefty, digs in, and against the righty Phil Hughes, he hits this one hard, but right at the first baseman, Chris Davis, who protects himself, makes the dive, and the play ends up on the dirt after taking that hot shot from Bryce Harper. But that will end the inning. A 1-out double for Solarte, and the big bats of Springer and Harper can't bring him home. Neither of their balls that they hit got out of the infield, and Phil Hughes dodges a bullet there. So here we go to the top of the second. Nate Carnes against Chris Davis. The big, powerful left-handed batter swings, and he misses, which is what he's known to do, and he strikes out against Nate Carnes. 1 down here in the top of the second. Phil Hughes on the Sox doesn't sound right. You're right. There's a lot of these that are weird. Don't think of them as the Sox. That's one of the reasons why I changed their names. Is a lot of this randomization, it just didn't feel like the real teams, and so that's kind of why I changed their names, and they're new teams. So Nate Carnes pitches to Luis Valbuena, and he strikes him out. So 3 in a row now sat down by Nate Carnes by strikeout. He's got the turkey of strikeouts here. Can he get the ham bone? Going for 4 in a row with Paulo Orlando. It's a 2-3, and not this time. He hits this one out to left field, but Shane Robinson has a beat on it, and he's able to make the play. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Nate Carnes, and he gets out of the second unscathed. It's a 0-0 ball game, and here he is in the bottom of the first. Phil Hughes coming back out, trying to match with Nate Carnes. Logan Morrison, the leadoff man here in the bottom of the second, the 5th man in the order against Phil Hughes. And Logan Morrison's able to sneak one past the infield and out to left field. Colby Rasmus goes down to a knee to grab it, tosses it back in, and Logan Morrison strolls down to first with a single, a leadoff single here in the bottom of the second. And the man Shane Robinson, who's been hitting pretty well on this Cleveland squad, kind of under the radar in that 9 spot, and so he gets a chance to move up in the order today to try and get his first RBI on the season. Will he be able to do anything here? Oh yeah, he gets a hold of this one. That one is out bouncing towards the wall in center field, and that is going to be a double. Logan Morrison had to wait to see if it was going to get caught. He's kind of slow anyway, but he's able to, so he stops at third. So Shane Robinson continues to hit no matter where he's at in the lineup. And now, with nobody out, men on second and third, Phil Hughes finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Higher Ground likes the whiteboard. Reminds me when he teaches math. Yeah, when I first started this channel, I implemented the whiteboard because I thought it would be nice to be able to write notes, and you can't see them. I have them off camera. I have notes that I've written down as far as, some cheats that I use, like quick equations as far as stealing and all that kind of stuff. I've also written down, some other stuff. But when I first started the channel, I used to write the score every time somebody scored a run. And I thought that was kind of nice, but it just takes too long. And with a better camera, you can kind of see this part now. So, I don't know. If you guys like it, I might do it again. But it just adds another utility that I could do stuff, but I just haven't found what would be quick enough to do with the whiteboard. I don't know. We'll see. I may get into more. As I play the game faster, I might implement some more stuff here. All right, so Phil Hughes, nobody out here. Men on second and third. The infield is going to be in here against Adonis Garcia. Trying to get out of this inning. This is a ground ball to the shortstop, A. But let me check this because I don't have these memorized. With the infield in, ground ball A, the result to the batter is out. Runner on third holds, other runners advance to base. So a good thing they had the infield in because Adonis hits this one to the shortstop. And the shortstop, Jordy Mercer, able to charge in on it and keep the runner Morrison from taking home. And he's able to fire to first for the first out. Higher Ground Gaming, you're a math teacher? What grades do you teach? That's pretty cool. Oh no, I lost a die. Uh-oh. 1 second while I get my die here. Went under the whiteboard. Okay, here we go. All right, so Ryan Hannigan now with 1 out. The infield's going to continue to be in for Ryan Hannigan. It worked well for Adonis Garcia, and here it is. And Ryan Hannigan trying too hard, and he swings straight through that pitch and strikes out. So Hannigan is second out, and now they're in danger, Cleveland is, of having men on second and third and not scoring here. It'll be up to Logan Schaefer, the lefty, against Phil Hughes, who's been playing with danger so far. And infield is normal depth here with 2 down against the lefty. This one's a fly ball out to left field, and Phil Hughes is going to get out of it. Colby Rasmus camps underneath it, squeezes his glove, makes the play. And Phil Hughes, being a magician here earlier, being a magician here today, putting 2 men on, second and third, with nobody out, and nobody scores. So Phil Hughes wiggles out of this one, and Nate Carnes will look to continue his way. He's retired 4 straight, 3 of them via strikeout. And here he is versus Colby Rasmus, who made that last play. And Colby drives this one. This is out to right field. Will it have enough to get out? It is up and out. Colby Rasmus coming back into the lineup, and he gets a hold of that one, and it's a home run. Nate Carnes serves one up to Rasmus, and he plants it out to right field. And we've got a score. It's a 1-0 ball game for Boston. Colby puts it out, and Boston takes a 1-0 lead against Cleveland here in the top of the third. Stephen Vogt now against the righty. And Stephen Vogt looks at that pitch on the corner, and he strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Nate Carnes, the first time through the order here. And he faces the 9th batter, Jordy Mercer. Boston has taken a 1-0 lead here, and Jordy Mercer fouls that one up behind home plate, and the catcher Ryan Hannigan tosses the mask, and he is able to make the play. 2 down now after the leadoff homer in this inning from Colby Rasmus. And we go to the top of the order, Dexter Fowler, who walked his first time up against Carnes. And the switch hitter steps in from the left-hand side. And he's able to poke one through the middle, up the middle. And he's aboard for the second time now. And he has a single. Yeah, Al, when's the popcorn going to be ready? How big a popcorn is it? Al, about 5-10 minutes ago, said he was going to go pop some popcorn, and he hasn't come back yet. He must have been popping the extra large pack. Or it's one of those ones you put on the stove, and the, what is it? I can't remember what it's called, but it like mushrooms up. It takes like a half an hour for it to mushroom up. Back in my day, that's how we used to do popcorn. Nate Carnes to Jose Altuve here. Dexter Fowler with 2 down. Getting an extra big lead. And let's check what it would be again. He's a 1-15 runner. Stealer, I should say. They are going to hold him, so that'll bring it down to a 1-13. Hannigan's a -1 arm. So with 2 down here, Dexter Fowler is getting itchy to run. And he takes off. And that is a stolen base. And in fact, it might be an error. Let's check that real quick. Stolen base. That's going to go to the T rating of the catcher. Ryan Hannigan is a T rating of 1-8. So let's roll this again. And it's just a 10. So his second baseman, Solarte, is able to dig the ball out of the dirt. Took a weird hop. And so Fowler not able to advance another base, but he's out at second now with 2 down off the stolen base, and Jose Altuve has a man in scoring position. Boston looking for blood here, and this is a 6-6. Jose Altuve smokes this one, but right at Escobar, a really good fielder, able to see it and snag it. And that's the end of the top half of the third. Boston takes the lead. Could have been more, looking threatening with Fowler on second. But it's only a 1-run ball game off the solo shot from Colby Rasmus. His wispy beard and all, able to muscle one out to right field and get the early lead for Boston. Phil Hughes with the lead. He's been playing with fire. He's given up 2 doubles so far, but neither of them have scored. And here he is against the top of the order, and Alcides Escobar again. Alcides Escobar smoked one to the shortstop, but it was caught. And this time, he pops it way high out to the shortstop.